Hi everyone, today I want to talk about something that is simple and self-evident, yet pretty unclear to us at the same time, which is often the case when it comes to important things. I think most of us intellectually, conceptually understand that the reason why we have conflict in this world is that we differ between us and them, we and them, self and other. If you want to talk a little bit more spiritually about it, often talk about self and other. And I think most have no problem in realizing that we shouldn't do that. We're all one, and we might not even need, nation states, borders, or anything. At least we shouldn't go to war with each other. We shouldn't have conflicts with one another, neither on an individual level nor on a collective level. But we make an exception to that notion. We exempt family and close friends, next of kin. We exempt those from that notion, really, if we're honest, if we look at it honestly. I took a walk the other day around this body of water that I have close to where I live here, very beautiful. It's not a bay, it's part of a lake, or anyway, let's call it a body of water. I take long walks around that water often, and I did so the other day also, and I ran into a friend of mine, and she had in her turn a friend with her, and we started chatting, a very nice chat. And at some point we started talking about the COVID-19 situation, and then I said something to the effect of it not being as tragic as if this disease had killed a lot of young people, like the Spanish flu did, 18-year-old boys and so. It mainly kills people above 80, which you can find sad enough, but I mean, I really mean that it's a very different story when you have a virus that operates in this way. I think we're lucky that this disease isn't worse than it is. And then one of these ladies said that, well, you could say that, but I guess it would have been a different story if one of your parents had perished from this disease. And I was a bit taken aback by that statement. I thought for a few seconds about it, and then I said, no, of course not. Why should it? And I meant what I said. My dad died in March of 2020. That was exactly when this pandemic started happening. And he didn't die of COVID-19, but I have thought several times after that what it would have meant to me had he died a month later or 2 months later, when it would have been a real possibility that he would have died from COVID-19. And my conclusion is that it wouldn't have made any difference. Why would I be angry at the hospital workers or at the pandemic itself at all? I mean, my dad was 91 years old, and his health had been deteriorating for about a year or so before he died, or passed away, or transitioned to another state, as far as I believe. So no, it wouldn't have mattered. And of course, it's different when people are younger. Affected people are younger than that. But so that was my response to her comment there. But it came as if it were something natural. I mean, many people reason that way. It would have been different if it would have been your family, wouldn't it? Would have been different if it would have been your children, your parents. But I mean, you can't, if you think something is terrible when it's happening to your next of kin, to your closest friends, to your family. If it's terrible, then it's just as terrible when it happens to anybody. It can't be any different, and vice versa. So I mean, if you don't truly believe that, then you're actually, if you truly believe that there's a difference between what you should think about what's happening to your family than what you think about what's happening to other people, then you are buying into, or you're stuck in that social cultural matrix that we've been living in for thousands of years, which I think we should get out of in order for us to see clearly that we are one and we shouldn't separate the way we do. It's an illusion that we are separate in the first place. So and we can start with scrapping borders and things like that, and then we can continue by scrapping the illusory borders between groups of people and between families and between individuals eventually. That's a philosophical long shot there, but I think you're not really human unless you realize that you can't have one stance towards what's happening to your closest, to those who are closest to you than you have to others. Two examples that might be controversial but still true. Say you consume pornography and you find pleasure in that, and then you find out that your son is engaged in the pornography business industry. Then how can you blame your son for doing that? How can you shame him or get angry at him for that if you consume? Well, you see my point. You can't do that. It's hypocrisy at a high level. Or let's say you have the idea that drug addicts are basically stupid people who have themselves to blame for the situation they ended up in. And then you find out that your daughter is a drug addict. So what do you think of it then? I mean, do you differ? You of course you have to have the same approach towards your, I mean, at the basic level, at your heart level, at your inner level, you must have the same approach to your daughter or your son or your parents, your brother, your sister, as you have to anybody else concerning something. Otherwise, it's just this, terrible separation matrix that we've been stuck in for so long. Then again, of course, we are human, and it's human to react differently towards different groups of people, and that's natural. I just have to point that out, so you don't think I'm callous here or anything. I mean, of course, if your brother, your mother, your child dies, you are terribly sad. You're devastated and sad for a period of time. That's natural, and that happens, and that should happen. And of course, you can't go around feeling devastated because of every person that dies around the globe all the time. That would be practically impossible. But I mean, on some basic core heart deep level, there's no difference. So now I'm trying to basically love everybody as much as I love my closest family and friends, but with the difference that since those people, my family, my friends, my next of kin are closer to me, I see them, I can hug them, I can talk to them every day, I get more engaged in what they are experiencing, of course. But it could just as well have been that family in Burkina Faso that was my next of kin. I just happened to be here now. I could have been there. I could have been in Argentina, or I could have been born in China or in Mongolia or wherever. Okay, that's what I wanted to convey to you in this video. Have a nice week now. Love you. Bye for now. If you like this video and other interviews and talks on Mind the Shift, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate all the support. Thank you.